is the 20th anniversary of the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime and its historic protocol to prevent, suppress, and punish trafficking in persons, especially women and children. We are halfway through a very difficult year for everyone, and our contemporary challenges have had a severe impact on people's vulnerability to trafficking and exploitation. IOM was implementing counter-trafficking interventions in accordance with human rights principles long before the Palermo Protocol gave us the clearly defined parameters that we know today. And likewise, our interventions have evolved over time as new forms of trafficking have emerged. We have learned, as have governments, that it is imperative to partner with the private sector, trade unions, supply chain auditors, and recruitment agencies to put in place practices to reduce the risks of trafficking and exploitation. As we embark upon a new decade, the world is now confronted with perhaps our biggest challenge to counter trafficking, that of a pandemic that has in addition brought severe restrictions to mobility, impacted livelihoods, and limited access to vulnerable people. COVID-19 has brought devastating impact upon the household security and health of billions of people all over the world, which inevitably heightens vulnerability and risk of exploitation, whether it is job seekers taking hazardous journeys, families relying on child labor for survival, or the marriage of young daughters in a desperate attempt to relieve economic strain. Now, as we have always done, the anti-trafficking community must evolve and adapt to this new crisis, finding innovative ways to identify trends, to screen for vulnerabilities, to support states while advocating for human rights and the prevention of abuse, and to seek safe and viable options for those who will remain on the move. Let's move into this direction together. As united, we are stronger.
Trafficking has increased immensely along migration routes, and more people found themselves in risky situations. We plan to train at about 250 participants from our participating states, representing multidisciplinary teams, because in reality, trafficking should be addressed by multi-agency teams, and it should be, of course, human rights-centered approach.
The exercise for combating human trafficking along migration routes is really a challenging endeavor in which we are now training not only police officers, but also public prosecutors, civil servants, and personnel belonging to non-governative organizations, NGOs.
The peculiarity of these projects is that it's the first simulation exercise. The participants actually act in nearly the real situation, where they may come across vulnerable people, smuggled, trafficked people, forced for sexual exploitation or forced for labor, and also where they may come across the traffickers. For the first time, we are training people, not just theoretically, but allowing them in practice to do what they learn. So it's learning by doing projects.